Throw your glasses on.
My glass is full.
No, your glasses.
Oh.
Try these.
I'm a little deaf.
All right?
Why, I look sick?
No, you
That's
look
what my
good.
father would say.
What are you drinking?
Still drinking what you gave me.
What was it?
It was some sort of Canadian whiskey.
Canadian Club.
Right? It's not Canadian Club.
It's not?
That's just Canadian whiskey. Whatever Canadian Club says, Canadian Club.
I think it says Canadian Club. I don't. Turn
Does
the
it?
bottle around. Oh no, you're right. You're right.
When I'm right, I'm right. I know I'm right.
You always drank. You never really drank nice liquor. You don't really believe in nice liquor.
I don't drink liquor anymore that much.
Yeah, but you always drank like what you call it a common beer, common whiskey. You never really had nice. You never really drank nice stuff.
Well, I always had Canadian Club, J&B Scotch, Cutty Sock, White Label.
Right.
So many different scotches over the years. What yeah? To me, beer's beer. I'm looking to drink something because I'm thirsty and it's cold, especially in the summertime. That's all. I don't care what it is. These people got to drink special kind of this, special kind of that.
Cheers.
Get out of here.
What's on your wrist? What are you wearing? What watch?
Looks like my watch.
Yeah. Talk about it. Tell a story.
Oh, well. How I got this watch,
You
it
can say.
actually fell off the back of a truck. That's how I got this watch. From an uncle of mine that did a lot of work like that. We always got a lot of gifts in that respect. You know, I must have had at least 3 watches. I had a Ben Russ, Bolivar, and this watch. And they all came basically from the same truck. I had a Bolivar watch, it was a square watch, and I always used to wear it for work. And I drove cab for many, many years. So the first thing I used to do when I got in the car, take the watch off, used to hang it on the shift handle. Of course, they used to rob cab drivers all the time. And that's where it always is. I don't know where that watch ended up. Well, like he's saying, he's pointing to my pinky. What you see is a little crooked. I'm working in the city, somebody flags me down. So I pull over to get in. So 2 people gets in a cab. Fine, what do I know who 2 people are? They want to go where they want to go. So one tells me Port Authority. So we go to Port Authority. So I stop at the light just before Port Authority. And one person gets out. So I turn around and I said, what about you? He says, I'm not with them. I said, what'd you get in the cab for? You're not with them. So when you're young, you do a lot of crazy things.
I know.
Like I don't have to tell you, you're probably first online. So I get out of the cab. Here I am on 41st Street and 8th Avenue. And the guy is still waiting on the corner for the light to change, to cross. I go over to him, I said, hey, pal, come here. Who's that person in the cab? I don't know. I said, who's going to pay for the cab? So he starts to walk away. I couldn't get that. He had me so freaking pissed off. He's walking away and I'm trying to grab him. So as I'm trying to grab him, I put so much pressure on his finger, and that's how I got this. But I got enough to give him a smack in the face, And, but that's the story. I went to the doctors to get it straightened out. Never got it straightened out. Put a splint on it. It's been fine.
So that was Uncle Nick with the watch, right?
Huh?
Uncle Nick with the watch.
Oh, Uncle Nick with the watch.
Right.
Yeah.
And when do you think you got that watch? Because that watch is from like 1952, 53. That's when that was made. I forget the exact year, but
That's when it was made.
right. So when do you think that you got it? Late 50s, 60s, what?
I must have got it in late 50s, early 60s.
Right.
Of course, then, like I said, the Boulevard was given to me when I graduated high school
Okay.
from Eugene Sinelli,
Okay.
Bobby's brother.
Right.
because he was my godfather.
Right.
But the Ben Russ, Uncle Nick gave me, and the Omega. Used to wear when you went out, a wedding, special things. I mean, of course, I was never a fancy guy to start off with. You know, a pair of slacks, sport jacket. You know, you wore a suit occasionally, depending on the situation.
Yeah, you never really wore it. Not really.
A little bit.
Maybe twice a year.
Yeah, 2-3 times a year, that's all.
Right.
You see how much do I wear that other watch?
What watch?
The one you took.
What's the name of it?
Oh, the Fendi.
No.
No, Philippe Donjour.
No. Patek Philippe.
Patek Philippe.
That's a good watch.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
Ah.
That's another watch they used to advertise. Now, I don't listen to the radio that much anymore. They used to advertise on the radio that the guy that advertised it used to say his father wore a Patek Philippe, and he used to be a bricklayer.
Right.
And once a year, he used to send it to the jewelers
Right.
to clean off all the cement
Yeah, right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
But that's what he wore.
Yeah, right. You were a cab driver from when to when? When did you buy the medallion?
I bought a medallion in '65.
How much?
$25,000.
And then you sold it when?
I sold it in '70.
Okay.
My brother didn't want to go to college anymore or whatever. So I said, what do you want to do? You want to drive a cab? I sold my cab, which was an individual for New York City.
Right.
And I bought a corporate, which consists of 2 cabs. And he drove one, and I drove the other.
Right.
And we had that from 60. Well, he got into it in '70. We had it until 73, 74.
What'd you sell it for?
Oh, we sold it for $30,000.
Right, so you really didn't make a lot of
That's
money.
all we made it. That's what the market was.
But then they went up to like over $1 million. They were almost $2 million.
Yeah,
million
but
seven.
Forget it. Even Uncle Joey had it. And he ended up selling it. He had passed away.
Yeah, right.
His wife sold it, and she got, I think, $96,000.
Yeah, right. But Uncle Joey never worked.
Wow, but he worked.
Wow.
I mean, the saying always said he never worked. He worked. He brought money home. He put money on the table.
Yeah, but he was.
As long as you put money on the table.
I know.
And
I'm not saying he didn't work. What I'm saying is he was notorious for.
Oh yeah.
Finding any excuse not to work or having it,
That's why he bought a cab.
Right.
Because he was his own boss. He could work anytime he wanted to work.
And he just talked a lot.
He wanted to work at night. He could work nights. He wanted to work days. He could work days.
Right.
He could work anytime.
So I grew up admiring that watch. Right?
Yeah.
I love that watch. And obviously that watch meant a lot, but that really wasn't my watch, right? I mean, that's your watch, and then that wouldn't have went to me.
Right.
Right? So I have the same watch as you. Do you know that?
You have the same watch?
I have the same watch. Yours is perfect. Mine has, they call it patina. It's like rust. It's just like pretty rust, basically, on the dial. Right? And my mother and father gave me this watch on my 21st birthday. Right? And it was really the second watch that I had. And I wore it a ton. This is the only watch I took with me when I went to Germany and Spain and Madrid, Barcelona. The only watch I took. The point I'm trying to make is, I admire that watch for the watch is beautiful, but the story about it, you know what I mean? And obviously things didn't, you know what I'm trying to say, but I have your twin watch, right? So even when you're wearing yours, and I'm not, but in many ways I'm still wearing yours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's not your, but it's,
I know what you mean.
Say, look, put them next to each other, look. Same watch.
The back is different, though.
No, the face, the dial.
Yeah.
No, it's the same dial. Yours is just white. Mine was born white, but it turned orange with the sun.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? Same exact watch.
But why did it turn there and didn't turn here?
Because you kept yours in the safe, in the drawer.
Oh.
This guy, who knows where he was? He could have been a fisherman. He could have been, who knows, tending to fields. Who knows what he did? But he was out there, and wearing it, and the sun beat down, and that's it. Yours was only for weddings. So it's the same watch, same exact watch, same year, but different,
Right.
But I always feel like, even though when I wear this, I don't, it's not yours, but I feel like it is.
Yeah, I understand.
Kind of nice. Yeah. Tell the Uncle Joey story with the boat and the Cadillac.
With the who?
The boat and the Cadillac.
The boat and the Cadillac.
Yeah, right. When he found out he was going to die.
I don't understand.
When he found out he was going to die.
Oh, yeah. When he found out he was going to die, he went out and bought a Cadillac.
And the boat.
And the boat.
Your nephew, set the boat on fire?
Oh, yeah. Who the hell remembers? Oh, the big guy?
Well, he's not the,
Not the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same type of guy where the watches came off the back of trucks.
Yeah.
My wife and I were going to take a trip to London, England, whatever. Well, we hope London's in England. So, my wife decided to ask my mother, do you want to go? Do you want to take the trip? So my wife says, yeah, let me ask Silvio, which was my father. So he says, yeah, if you want to go, Isabel, we'll go. And they did. They came along with us, and we went to London, and we went to high tea, which my mother enjoyed. Well, my mother and my wife got along like two peas in a big pot.
Not two peas in a pod.
No, there's a ton of room. There's a big ass pot.
And I'll tell you, so my grandmother always treated my mother, which is her daughter-in-law, like this, God forbid my father would say something out of the way or something like that. And my grandmother was tough. She was tough. She didn't take no shit. And she was a big woman. She was 6 foot, over 300 pounds. Yeah, she was. When my wife came into the picture, my wife and my mother got along like two peas in a pot. My wife was from Brooklyn, we're from Queens, whatever. My mother would rather go shopping with my wife than go shopping with her daughter, which was my sister. Because if my sister would go to my father, and so my father being, like I said years ago, the head of the house, women didn't work, so he would give my sister more mouth. But if my wife went, he would never give her mouth. All she would say is, just give me the credit card. Just give me the credit card, that's it. Mama needs this and she needs that. She needs a new couch, whatever it is. He never gave her no lip because back in his mind, he knew my wife was like his mother.
So you went to England?
Oh, boy, then it was back in London.
Yeah.
So we go to London. We enjoyed ourselves, went to Scotland, the whole 9 yards. We're on the train to Scotland. My mother says to my wife, boy, this is a nice train. Beautiful thing. But so my wife, she used to work for AIG. Okay, well-known corporation. So one day, I don't know, she went interrupted something, or her boss was having a conversation about restaurants in England. And something about a restaurant in London that he had went to. So she asked him what was in it. But the long story short, he said, "Oh, you can't go there. It's probably too expensive." Oh, that pissed my wife off. If you told her she couldn't do something, that is like the worst thing you could ever did or said. So now we're in London, and she knows the name of this restaurant. She says she made reservations. We went there one night, the four of us.
What was the name?
La Garoche. That was the name of it. I'll never forget the name. So we went there. Fantastic. Place was fantastic. The service, the food. So my wife, she was around. She used to do a lot of bookings for the guy she worked for. And so as soon as the guy came to the table, she says, "Look, this is no corporate card here. You know, so we're paying." So she says, "What do you think is the best?" "The best is the tasting menu." I says, "Do that. Tasting menu." Long story short, whatever it is, my father's looking at the menu and he's seeing prices, you know. So he must have said something. So I turned around to him. I said, "Pa, you coming here again tomorrow?" "It's today. Today, enjoy it today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow." And that was the story of the Garoche. Oh, my father. My father was one of the last live plumbers that worked on the Empire State Building.
No, I think he was the last live person, not plumber, person.
Oh, that could have been too. Who remembers? They picked him up. They picked him up one year when it was the Empire State Building's anniversary. Picked him up with a limousine, took him to the city. They had dinner with a whole bunch of other people and took him home.
I know, you know, a lot of times you don't like to talk about it. That's the point, is time, right?
It's time?
Time.
What about it?
It's a bitch, and it's beautiful, right? Because we have a lot of beautiful memories. And you have you've led a beautiful life. You know what I think of you, you know, I mean, we'll talk about that later, you know, but when you think about time, you're 83, right?
Oh, don't push it. Well, time is funny. Well, you have to think about time, but you really can't put too much time into thinking about time because it can become depressing. Okay, it can become depressing. So you want to think about it just to remember well, in life, there's more good times than bad times. And thank God I had more good times than bad times. I enjoyed my life with my wife, my children, and everything was fine. But a lot of things happen in life. You never know what's going to happen. It's like a disease. It's like being sick. You go to sleep at night, you wake up in the morning, you don't know how you're going to be. But that's time. It's all consists of time. And like I say, I think about time, but I can't think about time.
How would you want to spend the next 15 years?
Well, that's hard to say. It's hard to say because you don't know where you're going to be.
But let's say you're going to be here.
Right.
Let's say, God bless, you'll be able to live on the first floor. The house has 3 floors. You're going to live on the first floor, and you're going to be able to walk up 4 steps to your bed in the bathroom. Let's say you could do that for 10, 15 more years. So really life, you're able, you don't have to go, you're able.
Okay, I'm going to be able to do that. So there's no problem with living here.
No.
The rest, once, twice a year, or to go on vacation with the rest of my family
Right.
and enjoy them and always see them and spend time with them. What else?
What
can you
about Italy?
Well, vacation.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that Florida's one thing. Florida's 3 hours.
Well, I didn't say Florida. I said vacation. And it all depends on where you want to go on vacation. You know, vacation could mean Italy. It could mean Florida. It could mean any place.
Missoula.
Yeah, Missoula would be nice. Montana. Yeah, Livingston, Montana.
Yeah.
If I ever go to Montana, I gotta go to Livingston.
The video we made with you.
Well, what?
The video that we made with you.
The video that you made.
The commercial.
Yeah.
Right. Talk about that. Talk about what you were thinking when we brought it to you. Talk about the process of doing it, working with Michael. Talk about watching it. So talk about first, what did you think when I came to you?
Well, I thought it was a crazy idea. Because I asked him, I says, is this going to go worldwide? And I'm just not that type of guy to go worldwide, especially when I don't get anything back in rights reserved. Oh, it was a pleasure working with Michael. You know, I can't say the same for my grandson, but for Michael, he's a pleasure guy to work for. He told you when to talk, when not to talk, when to walk, not to walk, come outside, come inside. Tells you all those things, what to do and not to do. I don't know what my grandson wants me to do, but
What did you feel? Because you watched the commercial when everyone else watched it. So what did it make you feel when you watched it?
well, what makes me feel is that I don't like to think about it too much, but it's a lot that my grandson achieved. And the reason why I don't like to think about it too much is because I get the way I am now, upset. And there's no reason to get upset. Should be happy. But that's the type of guy I am. But my grandson knows that. If I think about certain people, certain times, certain things, this is how I get. And I don't like to get upset. And I don't like to get other people upset. That's the story.
There's a quote by Hawthorne, and they put it in the movie The Departed, right? And it's families are always rising and falling in America. And that's true.
Oh, sure.
And I think that the families that are rising are by and large rising because they were raised in families that were built by people like you. That's how I feel, right? You were a very hard worker. You never made big moves and got rich, right?
Oh.
But you laid a foundation of work ethic, responsibility, being a man, taking on responsibility. And that is the attitude that breeds success, right? Last of a dying breed, he's exactly right. So I really wanted to capture that on film.
Wait. Don't see the last comment you made, the last of the dying breed.
Yeah.
I'm not. You the next generation of a dying breed. You the guys with the words. See me, dying breed. It shouldn't be a word like dying. I don't like dying. I mean, I know I'm going to die. But a successful breed. A breed that thrived on success.
But the point, listen,
You, Michael up there, you're still going. You're young.
what the point isn't that you're dying. Not the point, because you're not. The point is that there were a lot of people like you, and some of them, like you, passed the torch to people like me, people like him, people like Michael. Hardworking people that really make their grandparents proud, right? But not so many people like you were able to do that. That's the point. They didn't. They built the torch, but they didn't pass it. It's two jobs, not just one. You did both, and that to me is the fucking be all and end all for me, right? Because before, and you think I spend too much money, we talk about it all the time, whatever. But before any of that bullshit, the most important thing I think was making sure that you and Papa and everybody, right? Their hard work and their sacrifice wasn't done in vain. You know, vain? That was the first thing for me. And that's why I didn't, become a lawyer, right? That's we could talk about that at a different time, but not that, and law is a fantastic profession and I admire lawyers. I love the law. I love the law. No, I know.
I never said.
No, but listen to me. Listen to him.
You spoke bad about lawyers.
I love lawyers.
Never said
But my
that.
point was about freedom and about taking control of your life and being successful at it.
Well, that's what you did.
But you gave your whole life to supporting your family, and you did it with nobility, and it was fantastic, and it's the most beautiful story I know, right? But passing the torch down, taking advantage, seizing the opportunity that you gave for me was, how can I continue this success while being free? Which you weren't always free. You had a lot of work. How many fucking hours did you work? Think about it. When we did the math, how many times did you drive around the world? You only stopped working when you got sick. You never retired. The word retire wasn't in your vocabulary.
But I was working, but I was still free.
You were. You could clock in and out. You could, and that was freedom. But you had to work a lot of hours, right?
Yeah, I worked a lot of hours.
I don't know another human being that worked as much as you. I mean, you really
There's
worked.
a lot of guys out there.
I know. But
A lot of people.
you put your life into supporting the family.
Yeah.
Your whole life. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas my thing was, hopefully, to do your sacrifice justice, I'll only have to put a small part of my life into supporting my family, and the rest I could spend with my family.
Right.
But I can only do that because of people like me, not just me. People like me and Michael, Tito, can only do that because of God. Because it's not just enough to compliment you, because a compliment only means a little bit. I want to explain to you what it all means. Capit?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.